The church was filled with silence, but all eyes were on Erika Kirk as she stepped up to the podium. Just 3 days after the sudden death of her husband, Charlie Kirk, she stood calm, almost too calm, and the air in the room felt heavy with questions no one dared to ask. Her first words shocked everyone. She told her young daughter, "Your father is on a work trip with Jesus to afford your blueberry budget." The crowd shifted uncomfortably, trying to make sense of it. But behind that strange line was a deeper story, one the public had never seen. For years, Erika and Charlie's marriage had been a battlefield, hidden behind polished smiles and staged appearances. While Charlie thundered on political stages, Erika quietly carried the weight of a home that was far from peaceful. Friends close to the family whispered that their arguments could last for hours, leaving Erika drained, broken, and questioning her own worth. Yet, she never let it show. She was the perfect wife on paper, standing loyally beside a man who was adored by his followers but feared inside his own house. And now, standing before a sea of mourners, Erika's face betrayed something the cameras couldn't capture, a trace of relief. It was the kind of expression you'd only notice if you'd been through the same kind of pain. For her, Charlie's death meant the end of sleepless nights filled with slammed doors, angry words, and the constant pressure of being married to a man who belonged more to the stage than to his family. What looked like grief on the surface was mixed with something far more complicated: freedom. Still, Erika knew she couldn't reveal the truth. She crafted her words carefully, painting Charlie as a loving husband and devoted father, because that's what people expected. But her slip about the blueberry budget made people lean forward. Was she tired? Was it grief? Or was it something else? An honest crack in the mask she'd been forced to wear for so long? The crowd clapped politely, but whispers ran through the pews. Why didn't she look devastated? Why was she talking about money in the same breath as heaven? And in those whispers, Erika heard a dangerous truth. The world was beginning to sense what she had worked so hard to hide. What no one in that church knew was that just weeks before Charlie's death, Erika had told a close friend she was at her breaking point. She admitted she had thought about leaving, but she feared the public backlash. "If I walk away, I'll be destroyed in the media," she said. And now fate had made the decision for her, but instead of feeling crushed, she felt something terrifying, relief so strong it almost scared her. As she stepped down from the podium, Erika's daughter tugged at her hand. "Mommy, when will Daddy come back from his trip with Jesus?" The question pierced the silence like a knife. Erika forced a smile, whispering, "Not for a very long time." The words caught in her throat. Not because of sorrow, but because of the dangerous secret she carried, the truth about their marriage, the truth she dared not reveal under the eyes of Charlie's loyal followers. Outside, cameras flashed, recording every angle, every step she took. Erika's calmness became the headline of the night. Commentators said she didn't look heartbroken. Supporters called her strong, while critics called her cold. But deep down, Erika knew one thing. The world would never see the real story unless someone was brave enough to uncover it. And that story was about to spill open, piece by piece, starting with the cracks in her carefully rehearsed grief. The whispers didn't die down after the funeral. In fact, they grew louder. News outlets replayed Erika's odd line about the blueberry budget on loop, while social media was flooded with speculation. Some said grief had made her lose focus. Others claimed it was proof that she was never truly broken by Charlie's death. The internet was divided, but behind closed doors, Erika was haunted by something far heavier than public opinion, the truth of their marriage. For years, Charlie had built his empire on fiery speeches and unshakable confidence, but inside their home, that same fire burned everything in its path. Erika often walked on eggshells, never knowing which version of her husband would walk through the door, the public hero or the private storm. He demanded perfection, control, loyalty, and when she faltered, even slightly, his words cut sharper than any knife. Erika endured it in silence, knowing that if she spoke out, she would be branded a traitor to the very movement her husband led. Now, in the days following his death, Erika began to feel something strange creeping in: peace. It terrified her. At night, she sat alone in the quiet house, listening to the silence where Charlie's voice used to echo. For the first time in years, she could breathe without fear of the next explosion. Yet, every time she allowed herself to feel that relief, guilt clawed at her. What would people say if they knew? Would they call her heartless? Would they accuse her of celebrating his death? The world demanded grief, but Erika was learning what freedom tasted like. Then came the interview. Sitting across from the host, Erika tried to play the part, gentle, heartbroken, devoted. But when the host asked her how she explained Charlie's death to their daughter, Erika repeated the strange line. "I told her Daddy is on a work trip with Jesus to afford her blueberry budget." The audience chuckled awkwardly, unsure if it was a metaphor, a mistake, or something deeper. Erika smiled faintly, but inside, her heart was racing. She hadn't meant to say it again. It slipped out, a phrase born from the years of financial and emotional pressure Charlie had placed on their family. Money had always been a weapon in their marriage, a way for Charlie to control every decision. And now, even in death, that pressure lived on in her words. After the show aired, the backlash was immediate. Supporters of Charlie accused Erika of being cold and disrespectful. Others began digging into old rumors, old cracks in the perfect image of their marriage. Former staffers whispered about shouting matches they'd overheard. Neighbors recalled tense nights filled with raised voices. The mask was slipping, and Erika felt the walls closing in. Yet, something unexpected happened too. Quietly, women began reaching out to her, women who had lived the same silent battles behind closed doors. They wrote messages saying, "I see you. I know that look. I know what you're carrying." For the first time, Erika realized she wasn't alone. She wasn't crazy for feeling the mix of sorrow and relief. There were others who had walked this same path, who understood the strange, complicated emotions of losing someone who had caused so much pain. But just as Erika began to find her footing, a chilling message appeared in her inbox late one night. It was anonymous, no name, no face, just a warning. "If you tell the truth about him, you'll regret it." Her blood ran cold. Who could have sent it? Was it a loyal follower of Charlie, determined to protect his legacy? Or was it someone much closer, someone who knew the secrets she hadn't dared to speak? For the first time since his death, Erika wasn't just balancing grief and relief. She was staring into something far darker, the possibility that Charlie's shadow would not leave her, even in death. The warning message replayed in Erika's mind over and over. "If you tell the truth about him, you'll regret it." It was short, but it was enough to freeze her. She stared at the screen, heart pounding, knowing it wasn't just a random troll. The words felt too sharp, too personal. Someone wanted her silent. Someone wanted the world to remember Charlie Kirk as untouchable, flawless, even if Erika knew the truth was far from it. For days, she avoided interviews and stayed off social media, but the pressure only grew. News anchors questioned her composure, critics accused her of faking grief, and supporters begged her to defend Charlie's legacy. The house, once filled with his booming voice, now seemed to close in on her with every whisper of public judgment. And yet, every time Erika looked at her daughter, she felt the same piercing question. Will I raise her in lies or in truth? The truth weighed heavily. She remembered the nights when arguments spiraled into hours of silence, when Charlie's obsession with power left no space for tenderness, when love felt more like loyalty to his image than a bond between two hearts. Those scars weren't visible to the cameras, but they were etched deep into her soul. Erika knew she could keep hiding, or she could speak, not to destroy Charlie, but to free herself. Then came the breaking point. A former aide of Charlie's, someone who had worked with him for years, gave a quiet interview to a small podcast. He hinted at the strain in Charlie's marriage, the moments when Erika looked exhausted, the way she seemed to vanish into the background while Charlie absorbed all the light. The clip spread quickly online. For the first time, Erika felt like the mask of perfection wasn't hers to carry alone. The cracks were showing, and others could see them too. But with that exposure came new danger. The anonymous messages escalated. Stay quiet. Don't dishonor him. Remember who's watching. Each one sent chills down her spine. It wasn't just about protecting Charlie's name anymore, it was about controlling her. Whoever was behind those threats wanted her trapped in silence, the same way she had been during her marriage. One night, sitting at her kitchen table, Erika opened her laptop and began typing. Her hands trembled as she poured out years of hidden truth. The strain, the fear, the isolation, and the strange mix of grief and relief that followed his death. She didn't frame it as revenge. She framed it as survival. And when she pressed publish, she knew there was no turning back. The article went viral within hours. Some praised her courage, others lashed out in fury. Supporters of Charlie called her a liar, while survivors of broken marriages wrote to thank her for giving words to feelings they had buried. Erika didn't respond to the chaos. Instead, she sat quietly with her daughter, holding her close, whispering promises of a future where truth, not fear, would guide them. The threats didn't stop, but something inside Erika shifted. For the first time, she felt like she wasn't hiding. She wasn't just the wife of Charlie Kirk. She was Erika, a woman reclaiming her story. And as the storm raged around her, she finally understood. Freedom doesn't come without cost, but silence costs far more. And so, as Erika Kirk steps into a life no longer defined by Charlie's shadow, the world is left divided. Was she heartless? Or was she finally brave enough to tell the truth? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because stories like this, stories of hidden pain, quiet courage, and shocking twists, deserve to be heard.